In today's video, I thought we would pick on this little kick cylinder. Look at the front and it says Scorpion, which sounds terrifying, doesn't it? It's a Scorpion CX5. It is a high security lock. You have got dual locking mechanisms. Up top, the drivers in these are GIN style drivers. There's matched countermilling for those in the core, and there's also 5 sliders down the bottom to deal with. So yeah, fairly serious lock. And this one does have master wafers in each chamber. Now, master wafers can make locks easier to pick because it gives you multiple shear lines. So there's several chances on each pin stack to get the pin set. But I think with this one they don't really come into play. So we'll get them in the vise and see if we can't get them picked and gutted, and hopefully we can keep all of those master wafers in the plug, so they shouldn't make it easier to pick. I did get this one about 3 years ago and it ended up forgotten in the bottom of a box, and it was only the other day that I came across it and thought I would see if I can get him picked. So yeah, fun learning experience, but anyway, we'll get it in the vise and see if we can't get him open. Right, so we've got our tiny little kick cylinder secured in the massive vise and the key's working as he should. So I'm going to use the top of the keyway, and that frees up the bottom of the keyway to get to the sliders, and I've got this number 10 multi-pick dimple flag for that. But for the top pins I'm going to use this hook. What is it? It's a PN07. So we'll do the top pins first, and what we're looking for is a false set, which is a very slight turn on the core. And there we go, a little tickle on pin 1, and we got that full set. That tells me that the heads of those GIN pins are near engaged in the milling in the core there. And we just got to bounce each one out. Now, if this was an ASA 600, you've got to float pick it. You've got to go back and forth ping-ponging those GINs. So as you set some, others drop, and you keep on sort of 2 steps forward and 1 step back to get them picked. But I found with this one, you just need to lift them up, release the tension. There we go, 1 set. That's 3, 4, 5, 6. And there we go, that was 2. So it's just like a single serration. You just release tension, bounce them up out the milling, and they don't present too much of a problem. So if I go in with this straight probe tool, and we'll just make sure that the sliders are all in the lower position. Sometimes they can get knocked up by the hook. Yeah, I think they're all at the bottom. And then we've got our number 10 dimple flag. So we'll start feeling. That was a small click on 2, I think. And I didn't even feel anything on pin 4, but pin 5 did the job, and we got him open. So yeah, not too challenging with a little bit of practice. It did take a bit of practice to get this one picked. So what I'm going to do now, I'll take him apart, and I think what I'll do is we'll leave the plug turned like that, and we'll release all the pins through these. Just fix the focus. Yeah, release all the pins through. Where's the focus gone? There you go. Through the top here, because we've got these grub screws, which is really great, and then we can see if any of those master wafers ended up in the Bible at all. So where's my tweezers? I think they're buried somewhere on my desk, bear with me. There you go, right over the back. So pin number 1, we've got a GIN pin and a spring, so no master wafer there. pin number 2, we've just got the gin and the spring. Again, no master wafer. Same again on 3. I think we might be going for a full house here. Same again on 5, gin pin, spring, and I'll grub screw. One more pin to go. Is it a full house? Yes, it is. Okay, so that tells me that all of the master wafers are in the bottom of the cylinder and they didn't come into play in this occasion. So what shall I do? I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll turn that round again, then we can release the top pins out there. So this will be pin chamber number 1. So that's a pin and a master wafer. Number 2, our pin and a master wafer. Number 3 is our pin and a master wafer. Same on 4, master wafer and a pin. We'll get 6 out next, I think. Pin and a master wafer, and lastly is 5. So now we've got all of those pins out, we just need to get the plug out and we can get those sliders out as well. Now if I grab the key, that should hold the sliders in, and I've just got to watch the sidebar as it comes out. So there's our sprung sidebar, there's all the sliders there which are being held in by the key. So if I take that sidebar out, and then we've got 2 springs in there, and that's 1 spring out, but the other one's not come out yet. So tiny, these springs, look at them, so easy to lose them. There we go, we've got our 2 springs there. And you can see all the sliders in there. Hopefully as I pull the key out, you can see the sliders moving. When the key's in, all of the gates in those sliders line up, and that sidebar is able to retract into the core, and then it can turn. And of course, when the key's out, none of those gates are aligned. Anyway, these are not sprung. I'll take the key out and then we can take these sliders out. Let's put them there. Running out of room on my tray. 1, 2. 3. 4 jumped out, and 5. I think it took longer to gut this than it did to pick it. Yeah, so there's the plug there and the housing for those sliders. Now I didn't feel any false gates on these, but we'll have a quick look. So that little pin there is what I was lifting up. Yeah, there is a false gate, so you've got the deep recess there, that's where the sidebar needs to go in, and then we've got a tiny little false gate down there. So it's a false gate on 1, same on 2, same on 3, same on 4, yeah, same on 5. I didn't feel any of those false gates come into play. I'll just lift you up so you can see those pins there. As you can see, you've got those gin style pins at the top, and down the bottom each of the pin stacks has got its own master wafer. But we were able to keep all of those in the plug, and I'll just grab one of those gin pins. So in the top, you can just see around the edge of each of these holes there's a little bit of sort of undermilling. You can hear my pick catching on them. And that is designed for those the heads of those gin pins to grip onto. So you lift it up, and that little shoulder gives us the full set that we saw. And then that bottom lip just there gets stuck in the milling. I've just lost that one on the carpet. Yeah, that gets stuck in the milling. But all we needed to do was just to pop each pin up and out. And we managed to get it open. So with a bit of practice, it wasn't the toughest lock in the world. It certainly befuzzled me when I was first came across it. Anyway, I'm going to go and search for that gin pin, which has just fallen on my carpet over there, and hopefully find it and assemble this lock. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.